Hiya and welcome to the James Oliver Guitar Channel, and today we're going to try a new feature on the channel, which is my Q&A Mondays. So I'm just taking questions via the Facebook page and the Instagram page, and you can send in questions, music and guitar related, and I'll try and answer them. This is a bit of a new feature I'm trying on the channel, and we'll just see how it goes. I'm going to answer 5 questions at a time. So if I don't answer your question, I'll get on to it next week, so don't panic. And if you've got questions you'd like to ask, comment below on this video on YouTube, or I'll put my email address in the description so you can email me if you want to do it privately. So anyway, we'll crack on with the questions, and we'll see how this segment goes on the channel. And these are just my opinions on the subject, so they're not right or wrong. So yeah, here we go. First of all then, question number 1. Howell Hughes asks, how do you set your delay pedals to get slapback sounds? Now, I've seen Howell's full comment on the Facebook page, and he's got a Boss DD6. So I thought that I'd show you the settings on my Boss DD3. So this is an old Japan Boss DD3, but it's similar settings to a DD6. So normally I set them all about 5.2, as you can see, and that's how I sort of get the slapback echo from this DD3. So I'll just plug this in for you now, and I'll show you the sound with and without, with everything set to 5.2. Just you've got the Telecaster here, the Vintera. So this is the dry sound. And this is the sound with the echo. I've always felt the slapback sort of, you know, it fills out your sound, and I love that old authentic 50s rockabilly sound. So this is without, and this is with. It's only one repeat you want, one slight sort of a note, like that, so you can get out, you know. I mean, I'll play a phrase with and without, and you can tell me in the comments or in person which one you think sounds the best. So that's with, and this is without. So there is a difference, you know, when you use a slapback, but this is the settings that I'm using. Everything is 5.2. Obviously, you can adjust them slightly. I mean, if you set it to 12 or at 12 o'clock, which I've done now, as you can hear, there's more repeats. But of course, every pedal is different. Every delay pedal is going to be a little bit different. But, you know, you get it on these Boss digital pedals around the 5.2 all the way across, you should get a cool slapback sound. What I'm thinking of doing, because I've got quite a few delay pedals, because I'm a fan of them, I might do a video, a bit of a which delay pedal sounds best for rockabilly slap. I've got maybe 5 or 6 pedals I could use. So look out for that in the future, Howell and everybody else that would like to see it. Now, I might have pronounced this gentleman's name completely wrong, and if I have, I apologise. Pertua? He asked, how many shows do you play a year pre-Corona? Well, before Corona, I was averaging 250 gigs a year. Last year I did 262. And before the virus, I had, for this year, from January to December, 260 shows booked. But obviously with the virus, etc., nobody's really working. I've been very lucky that I've managed to do about 17 gigs since March. But my main thing, my main income and my main way of selling CDs and promoting my music is through doing gigs. And I'm happy to play 3 times a day anywhere in the world, really. So that's the sort of situation with gigs. Hopefully, you know, when all this finishes up and it gets back to a bit of normality, we can go back to doing 4 or 5 gigs a week. So there we are. Right, now a guy called Ben and another guy called Richard asked me about gear. So what I've done, because the same people have asked me the same question twice, I'm just going to answer for you both. Amp-wise for gigs, I use a Fender Deluxe Reverb. And I set the volume on about 4 is the sweet spot. I have the treble on 5 and the bass on 4. I don't use any reverb, and I use a bit of slapback delay. So that's sort of the amp settings. Guitar-wise, my main gigging guitar is this, which is a Fender Vintera Custom Telecaster. There's a few mods to this guitar. There's a Joe Barton, Danny Gatton in the bridge, because I love the custom shop one I got so much. And there's a Lambertone PAF in the neck. Lots of people ask me why this knob is different. It's just so you can do the volume swells easier. It's easier to do that with this than it is with one of these, I found. So that's all there is. So basically that's the main gigging guitar. And then I got a slide guitar for gigs, which is this Kudacaster, which I use for slide. And then normally then I take a backup Telecaster, where there would be my black Tele-Custom or my 76 Tele-Custom or this Dave Durnley made 52 reissue Tele. I don't tend to gig the vintage ones as much anymore. Sometimes, you know, I feel like, yeah, you know, I want to take my old 61 Strat or the 63 Tele, and I do take them now and again. But mainly my favourite is this Vintera. It's a really good Rode guitar. It's sturdy and it stays in tune, and I really like the sound of it. So that's the main guitar. As I talked about the Deluxe Reverb, I got a really cool 62 AC30, which I enjoy using as well on gigs, and a Magnatone Twilight there. Pedal-wise, it's a JHS Milkman and a Timmy Overdrive. Basically, there is a video on the channel of me doing a rig rundown that you can watch, and I talk about all the gear. String-wise, I either use Rotosound 10s or Super Slinky 10s. It all depends. I have got a bit of a string endorsement with Rotosound, so I do tend to use more Rotosound than Super Slinkies. But it's 10 gauge strings on everything, including the slide guitar. Because sometimes, if I'm carrying two guitars, the slide guitar doubles up as a spare guitar. Plectrum-wise, I use Herco Flex 50s. Like the gold Herco ones here, as you can see. Tunings, standard tuning. And then for slide, on the record, there's a song in open G and it's a song in open D. So it's standard, open D and open G. They are the tunings that I tend to use. So I hope that answers your questions about the gear, the gigs and the delay pedal. Question number 4, which is off Colin Duggan. He said, you spent 6 months building up your YouTube channel. Do you think YouTube will replace live music? Well, that's a bit of a strange one, because YouTube really has kept me sane, you know, doing my classic rockabilly solos, my vinyl videos, my guitar reviews, putting up band videos, Twang Tuesdays, and I've been lucky to build the channel up. It's gone better than I ever thought it would. But to me personally, nothing will ever replace the buzz of doing a live gig. You know, as much as I love playing the guitar, you know, practicing the guitar and learning stuff on the guitar, it's all about the gigs for me. And personally for me, I could never replace live gigs with YouTube. Maybe in the future, because of the COVID, there might be live gigs streamed onto YouTube. But I just really hope that, you know, all the venues don't shut and there's no live gigs and it's just all this. Because as much as I love this, nothing beats the gigs for me, you know, meeting the people and making new friends and followers. It's great. I mean, YouTube is great, but for me, I am a live gigger, and I hope that YouTube doesn't replace the live gigs. So hopefully the answer is no on that one. But you never know what the future will hold, what's going to happen next week, next month, next year. We just don't know. So anyway, the answer to that one, Colin, but is no. Up next is a guy on Instagram. He's a really good guitar player himself, called Roswellia or Roswella. And he asked, is there anything in your collection of music that might surprise us? Well, the collection's a bit varied. I mean, even though I play mainly rock and roll, blues and country stuff and rockabilly, that's sort of my guitar style, which I enjoy playing. But I am quite the fan of bands like Pink Floyd and some of the classic rock stuff I like. I got some early Genesis. I like some of the progressive rock stuff as well. I don't mind saying Yes and stuff like that. So there's some prog stuff in there. There's no real major surprises, I don't think. I mean, there's no pop music in there. It's mainly rock and roll, blues, country, rockabilly, rock, classic rock, blues, some prog rock, you know, some jazz stuff like Django Reinhardt and all that. But it's mainly guitar-based stuff, and I'm also quite fond of singer-songwriters. I suppose the most popular thing in the collection is Shakin' Stevens, and I've mentioned Shaky before, that I am a fan. Just due to the fact of the great Mickey G played guitar, and it's some of the most perfect rock and roll guitar solos that I've ever heard. So there we go. I hope that one answers that. I mean, there's no like S Club 7 in there or Little Mix. To be honest with you, I didn't know who Little Mix were until a few weeks ago. So yeah, so there's nothing like that in there really. It's pretty straightforward. You wouldn't be surprised if we look through it, you know. So there we are. And even though I'm only doing 5 questions, there's a bonus question off my friend Jack Allen. He's a great guitar player. He's got a YouTube channel called Panama Jack. Definitely worth checking his stuff out. He asked me, would you sell your 63 telly? And the answer is no. So there we have it. That's the questions for this week. I mean, if you didn't like this feature of the channel, please comment below. If you got questions, comment below. Email me. The email will be in the description. If you know me personally, text me, ring me, you know, whatever you like. And that concludes the first Q&A. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I look forward to your questions for next Monday. Really appreciate it. Cheers. Thank you.